YouTube world? It's your boy Lucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and I'm back with another Raw Talk, Smack Talk, Crown Jewel review this week in wrestling, this week in WWE thing. I'm really gonna try to get back on my wrestling and food stuff. I'm gonna try to do it. This is the week. Um, I just I just be sleepy. I'm not gonna hold you. I go to work. I come home. I go sleep. That's why I sleep. But we're gonna hopefully, fingers crossed, get these done. It's just really hard because I do stuff at 6 in the morning, so I go sleep early and I don't be able to have to get it done. But here we go. We're gonna try. Fingers crossed. Encourage me, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Um, and we're gonna get into this limbo of wrestling where we last left off. I don't even know where we was when we last left off. Couldn't tell you. Actually, I could tell you if I look at my handy dandy telephono. Somebody messaged me. Let's see. Here we go. No edits. You know how we roll. Maybe I should have had this prepared, but you know. New champion crown. So this was a month ago. This was Gargano. Also, okay. So around this time, okay, Braun Strowman had already returned. New champions were crowned. Io and Dakota were champions. So, I mean, a lot happened since then. Um, Bailey still has not been defeated Bianca for the Raw Women's Championship. She's had they had a last no, well they had that too, but they had two matches. They just had one at Crown Jewel. They had one at the other pay per view that I don't remember. What kind of match was it? This is what happens when you get old. You forget stuff. Um, it was a good match too. It's not like it was a bad. I just forgot what kind of match it was. Jewel 2020. Um, I don't remember. Oh, I could have just Bailey versus Bianca. That would make sense. Bailey versus Bianca. Extreme Rules. It wasn't Extreme Rules match, was it? Oh, it was a ladder. I really remember. I remember. It was a ladder match. That's what it was. So they had a ladder match, and Bianca won. A lot of foolishness that went on. Um, the night after Raw, or the night after Extreme Rules, they had a one-on-one match. I think in that area they had a one-on-one match, and Bianca lost to Bailey because Nikki Cross came. She entered her stuff in there, and she was back. She's old knee Nikki, and then the following week Nikki had a match with Bianca. Bianca won. They had their match. Damage Control tried to help. Nikki didn't want their help. Got distracted. Bianca ended up rolling up Nikki for the win. And then last week, the last Monday, um, tag team titles was on the line. Women's tag titles, where the returning Alexa Bliss and Asuka came to take on Damage Control after they had took them out prior before, uh, and also they had took out Candice Michelle also. So Damage Control drops the titles to them. So that's how the story kind of goes with Damage Control, leading up to Crown Jewel. My mind, before I say who wins, go over the card and say who wins. My mind, I was like, you know, uh, Damage Control. They lose again. You keep them strong, and then by the next time the pay per view comes, you have Bailey win. win the title from Bianca, and then you do like a winner take all at Survivor Series. Winner takes all, which you might be able to still do. We'll get into that a little later, but that was my mind. What else happened? Judgment Day. They're doing the whole thing. They're in it. They're in the thing with AJ Styles. AJ Styles was kind of pretending that he was going to be part of Judgment Day. He was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not here to fight with you. You're right. We got to make things right." So I always turn to my family when I come. So he goes on his knee. On his knee, what I noticed, there was a Japanese logo thing on it, like his knee pad, and Finn was like happy. He was like, yes, yes, come to me. And then he goes, "Oh no, I wasn't talking about you." And then Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, Machine Gun Carl Anderson, come up. The Good Brothers, they return, which is crazy because obviously they did just finish up with Impact Wrestling, but also Carl Anderson is the current, not past, current IWGP Never Openweight Champion, which is in Japan, which is one of the big promotions. Which one of the big three promotions is WWE, AEW, Japan, maybe Impact Now's top four, Ring of Honor, maybe, or GCW. GCW is kind of creeping up, but it's either Ring of Honor or GCW. But Ring of Honor is under AEW, so whatever. Well, yeah, no, it was a big thing. They did a whole fighting thing. I think AJ Styles lost to Dominic Mysterio, which was that was a whole thing. Um, Doc Gallows got body slammed by Rhea Ripley, which was awesome. Finn Balor beat Carl Anderson in a good one-on-one match, but Carl Anderson got his win back on Damian Priest that past Monday. Uh, but Judgment Day had they still got the win, and the whole story is pretty much is like Rhea Ripley is the X Factor. Rhea Ripley is the one who's causing this mayhem, and we have to find somebody to uh, combat with Rhea Ripley. They have not found anybody yet. So again, get to my predictions later, and I talk about what happened at Crown Royal or Crown Jewel, Crown Royal, Golden and Raw. Shout out to them. So that was a thing that happened. What else? Braun Strowman and Omos. It was a thing. It happened. It's just your big men versus your big men. That's pretty much all that was. Um, what else was on that show? Tag titles was on the line. The Usos faced off against the Brawling Brutes. Now this is a whole lot of thing going on. So I'll probably just wait to the end for that because everything is always intertwined with the bloodline, which is all good stuff that the bloodline does. So I'm gonna kind of hold off for that for right now. So so we're gonna go on to um, Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar was a thing that happened. So what happened with that is pretty much Bobby Lashley has been this dominant United States champion. He's been doing really great work. And creeping up in his horizon was Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins was doing a thing with Matt Riddle. They were going back and forth. Matt Riddle and Bobby Lashley kind of become a little close, a little frenzy, a little bit. They had tag team matches against other people, and they've been winning. So pretty much there was the final match between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins uh, in a fight pit, which was really good at Extreme Rules. And Matt Riddle had won, and ribs taped up. He was messed up, and so Bobby Lashley came out, said he's gonna have this match with Seth Rollins, and Bobby Lashley pretty much said he was the most dominant person. Nobody can topple him. Nobody can beat him. Brock Lesnar music hit. Crowd goes crazy. Everybody's like, "Oh, sugar honey iced tea, it's about to go down." and it went down. Brock Lesnar murdered Bobby Lashley, just destroyed the Bobby Lashley, killed Bobbles. Um, Seth Rollins came out, won his title match, which even after like another 10 minutes after that beatdown, Seth Rollins does win. He does become United States champion. That does not make Bobby Lashley happy. Bobbles is like, you know what? I am going to murder Brock Lesnar. So they do really not a lot of talking throughout this month going into the Crown Jewel. It was no talking. It was a lot of fighting. Uh, Bobby Lashley comes down. Brock Lesnar comes out. Brawl, great brawl. I think they did another brawl, or Bobby Lashley just spanked Brock Lesnar, and then they're supposed to do like an interview on uh, on this past Raw. Bobby Lashley was talking a little bit. He was like, "Of course he didn't come. He's unprofessional. I'm the best." And then Brock Lesnar music hit, and he comes down. He's like, "Look, I didn't come here to talk to Bobby Lashley. I came here to fight Bobby Lashley." You could just see Bobby Lashley just unbuttoning everything. He comes out, another brawl. It was fantastic. Triple H comes out. Like, hey, not hey, you. Brock Lesnar doesn't listen to me. No, no fight. Hey, if Dad was here, you wouldn't be fighting. Hey, no fighting. And he's told them if they fought, if they touched, that no match is happening. Yeah, you tell them, Paul. That was all great stuff. Um, and what else? I think that was it. So that was it about that the all that stuff. A lot of stuff that was going around the wrestling world. Other good stuff that goes around the wrestling world. Gunther being Intercontinental Champion, fantastic, good stuff. We love it. What we don't like and what we're not going to talk about is Baron Corbin and JBL. We're not going to talk about that. We might have to talk about it on Raw later, but we don't got to worry about that. It's over there. It's so Gunther is fantastic Intercontinental Champion. Rey Mysterio, who is now on SmackDown from Raw because he can't handle his son being the way he is. He told Triple H, he's like, look, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm not able to do it. I can't be on WWE no more. I got to quit. And Triple H, whoa, tranquilo. So he did a thing where he was pretty much like, hey, we'll figure it out. And then in the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental title, there was somebody who was supposed to be in it. Oh, it was supposed to be Karrion Kross, and then Karrion. Oh, that was another thing. I will talk about that later, I guess. There's a whole other thing where Karrion Kross got jumped in the back by a car. He got ran over and McIntyre beat him up. So Rey Mysterio was that fourth person. He wins a fantastic Fatal 4-Way. It was him, Sheamus, Solo Sikoa, and somebody else. I don't remember who else was in it. Darn it. Rey Mysterio. Duh. Obviously. I'm freaking retarded. So, freaking silly boy. So, yeah, it was Rey Mysterio, Sheamus, Solo Sikoa, and well, whoever else I just said. Whatever. So, anyways, Rey Mysterio won. It was fantastic. Good stuff. And Gunther versus Rey Mysterio on SmackDown. Oh my! It was good stuff. We need more of that. I think Rey Mysterio had a match against. Did Rey Mysterio have a match against Ludwig Kaiser? I think he had a match against him, and he beat him. I feel like that was a thing that happened. But yeah, Rey versus Gunther. Beautiful. Oh, Bulk. Gunther was chopping Ray's chest off. He was swatting him. He was beating him up on the outside. It was good stuff. It was all great. I loved every single moment of it. I want more. To give me more of that. That's what they should do. More of that. More Gunther versus Rey Mysterio. Oh, I think the other one was Shinsuke Nakamura. That feels right. Who is also doing some good stuff? We love Shinsuke Nakamura here on Hulucha Lucha's channel. We love Shinsuke. He's great. He's been showing up everywhere. He showed up on NXT once to do a two dimes thing. Uh, it seems like he's about to do a thing with Santos Escobar, who Legado is also on SmackDown, and they have a thing with Hit Row, and Selena Vega is now part of that thing. I kind of wish that uh, Elektra Lopez was also on SmackDown because they really need tag teams, and I really think that Elektra could learn a lot on the main roster. Like Aaliyah is on the main roster, she's doing way better. Carmella was on the main roster, she's doing way better. Liv Morgan is another one who's on the main roster, is doing way better than what she was doing at NXT. Alexa Bliss, so much stuff that they can learn on main going on the main roster. I think would have been perfect in learning aside Santos Escobar, Zelina Vega, um, DJZ, and Joaquin Wild, um, or DJZ and Joaquin Wild, and uh, um, I don't remember his new name, but him, the Mendez, who the old Mendez. But she could have learned so much for them. But she's on NXT. She's gonna do great. Hopefully they still pick her up and they do stuff with Legato. Um, but yeah, Santo versus Shinsuke Nakamura next week is gonna be fantastic. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna enjoy it. Oh, so yeah, they did a thing with Hit Row, and I think Shinsuke got the win on Santos, on somebody in that match last week. Uh, so it's gonna be great. I'm gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be fantastic. And then hopefully we also get Rey Mysterio versus Santos because that's gonna be money as well. Um, Drew McIntyre versus Karen Cross, I kind of low key forgot about. Karen Cross came back and he has disrupted the one they call Drew McIntyre, uh, costing him matches against Roman. Well, Solo did, and then he tried another one, and then Cross got involved. They had a strap match, was what it was. And then they had the other match with the car incident. There was really a lot going on, but we'll talk about that later anyway. And one more final thing that is probably worth noting: uh, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is back on SmackDown. He's back in the WWE. Fantastic. Oh, we should also mention that Candice LeRae has also returned. Johnny Gargano, I think, was already there. Braun Strowman has returned because he did the thing with Omos. Uh, uh, Emma is now back on SmackDown. It seems like that she's about to do a thing with Xia Li, which is all good stuff for me. Anybody else? Anybody else? I think those are all the really returns, but obviously the biggest one of them all is Bray Wyatt. He's coming back. He's fantastic. He did all these QR codes and all these different things to lead you into Extreme Rules that he debuted, came back from. He had all the old gimmicks, the Husky Harris, the Abigail, um, the pig, all of them. His old Hawaiian cult leader gimmick, all of it was there, and then he finally showed up. The crowd went crazy, and he pretty much just talked for a little bit about how happy he is to be back and how nervous he was, and it gets interrupted by this voice, which I guess is his Uncle Howdy, who who's been saying pretty much that Bray Wyatt is not who you think he is. He's not this level person. He's not happy. He's still hiding behind this mask, and everything will be much better if he just, if he feels like if anything is happening, he just puts the mask back on, and everything will be better. It's pretty much how that was. A lot of speculation going on that Uncle Howdy will be Bo Dallas, which also will be great because they are real life brothers. Good stuff. We love all of that here. Um, I don't know if Bray Wyatt is going to do like uh, do another group or thing like that because it seems like there's a lot of pieces for a lot of different people to be in his thing. They talked about people from some indie tag team from somewhere that I don't remember. Talk about maybe Alexa Bliss, maybe Asuka, also both of them. Maybe Karrion Cross or Dallas. So there's this whole Wyatt Six thing that's going on. But I love Bray Wyatt. I'm so glad he's back. And it obviously seems like his first feud is maybe with himself or maybe with Bo Dallas. I don't know. But anyways, I'm interested. I'm hopeful. But that's pretty much that. Anything else going on Raw and SmackDown? Not really. Women's got the women's. Before I also so I get this out the way. Shayna Baszler and my girl, the women's champion, Ronda Rousey, blanked out for a little bit. So Shayna and Ronda are kind of they're teaming. They're friendlier, and seems like Ronda is going in the heel direction. Shayna is tapping back into her killer instinct, which I hope leads to her and Ronda being a tag team, murdering everybody in the tag division, taking the tag team titles, and when they lose the titles, Shayna Baszler going crazy on Ronda Rousey. So that's what I hope happens. Uh, so now we get back into Crown Jewel, which happened. Brock Lesnar had defeated Bobby Lashley, which I did predict and I think that was going to happen. Bobby Lashley had got his win at the Royal Rumble, which was a weird finish. And also Bobby Lashley was also hurt. This kind of the same thing was a weird finish. Bobby Lashley was spanking Brock Lesnar all over the place. He was he was putting the boots on Bobby Lashley. Spearing him outside the thing on a barricade before it even started, beating him up. A couple of suplex cities, but the Bobby Lashley dominated, picked him up, slammed him on the ground, um, had him in a hurt lock. But then Brock Lesnar did did the thing where where all the luchas do they go on the turnbuckle, they'll push off and they'll pin him, and so that's how he won. And then Bobby Lashley got him back in the hurt lock, took him out, passed out, and they're gonna continue. So there's 1-1. So I'm assuming they said it was gonna originally be at day one, but obviously it's not happening because day one's not a thing again. I assume they'll both probably be in the Rumble. They'll probably eliminate each other, and then they'll have their blow off at WrestleMania, which I am 100% okay with. We like those here, uh, and Bobby Lashley should get that final win. So that was the first match. The next match, I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was the tag team, women's tag team title match. Damage Control looking to take back their tag team championships from the recently won 5 days, Alexa Bliss and um, Asuka, which they did. And so there's a lot of things in my mind at first. I was like, man, this why would they just do the thing just that quick? They just had a title change. Triple H was from the Attitude Era, and they changed titles left and right all the time. Like Rock and Sock, like Rock and Mankind, they probably had the titles for a combined like they had it 3 times for like combined maybe 30 days of that. I think they won it once on like Raw and then lost it, dropped it to like Edge and Christian like that next SmackDown or something like that. So it happens. They do a lot of stuff to pop the crowd. And I would also say for the story, it kind of makes sense because so Damage Control comes out and then Alexa Bliss and Asuka, they're doing a backstage thing. Alexa Bliss is talking, and then there's the Bray Wyatt symbol that pops up on her screen, and you could just hear everybody go, "Oh!" And then Alexa Bliss kind of got distracted. She was a little distracted. She was like, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna win the yeah." Asuka, she said, yeah, nobody's ready for Alexa and Asuka. So that was part one that already got Alexa Bliss, outside her mind. But she did kill her in the match. And in the end, after she was going wild, she was about to win. And then Nikki Cross, another blast from her past comes, pushes her off, takes her out, and cost her the tag team title. So not only do you have Bray Wyatt, who's from your past, who when you last saw him, you kind of screwed him out of another win from Randy Orton at WrestleMania, a match that everybody just assumed that Bray Wyatt was going to win. You kind of screwed him out of that match and cost him that title. So hey, maybe her past is catching up to her. Maybe that's like another story that they're going to do. I would not be surprised if they did a winners take all on Monday or something leading up to Survivor Series, because I do think they're going to do Damage Control and others versus Bianca and others. I can see it being Damage Control, Nikki Cross, and maybe who knows, uh, me. I don't know. Let's say Rhea Ripley. Let's just say it's Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and let's say Mia Yim returns, because that's the thing that everybody's saying. Let's say Mia Yim returns. It's going to be them. I would expect the I would expect before that they'll probably do a winner take all match. Bailey probably wins the title. That's how she gets the title, and then they'll do the Extreme Rule, the War Games. I probably expect them to do that too. Maybe they branch off in different things before WrestleMania, and then Bianca takes the title off of Bailey at WrestleMania again. So that'll be her third horsewoman that she takes it off from. So maybe they do something like that, and then they go from there. So that's what I think will happen. I think Damage Control will have the titles longer this time, which will be good. I think they're great. Dakota Kai and Io Sky are fantastic, and I need that one-on-one with Io Sky and Asuka. Thank you very much. Karen Cross versus Drew McIntyre, steel cage match. It was fine. It was way better than their strap match, because that match was doo doo butter. But this match was better. The story was, I don't know what the story was supposed to be, but I mean, Scarlett still got involved, so I don't understand the point of that. And then they did the climb in the cage, but they really didn't use the cage that much. But Scarlett locked the doors, and then Drew McIntyre was like, okay, well, I'll just climb, and she was like, oh, duh, that's a good idea. So she tries to unlock the door, and then Drew gets it. I would have rather, at least if they would have did that finish, I would have at least rather like Drew get on that side and like she opened the door for him, and then like Drew like slams it in his face, like he goes on that side, boom, slams it in his face, he blows down, and then he'll look at Scarlett, haha, he couldn't do it this time, or something like that. But it was just like he barely beats. It was weird. I didn't like it, but the match itself was fine, so it was what it was. Braun Strowman versus Omos, you got what you expect. Omos did a lot of talking. He did a lot of trash talking in this, which I did like. So this was better than expected. Braun Strowman still wins. He's very strong, so he like tries to is like he picks Omos up, but he kind of tries to like put him down because he's not supposed to like pick him up. So he like picks him up and he kind of puts him back down. So it's like struggling. Um, MVP was not there because he's Muslim, and it's a whole thing with that in Saudi Arabia. So Braun took him out on SmackDown after he gave him like four opponents or something like that. It's going to be interesting to see what happened on Raw if like Omos kind of like. It's going to be weird to see what happens then. MVP tries to like be on, try to be like, oh, if I was there, something, blah, 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 and then almost like, who wasn't there? You got beat up, you're weak, da, 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 da. Maybe they bring back Hurt Business, and maybe like Shelton Benjamin and Seti comes, tries to defend him. Bobby Lashley comes out, maybe to help MVP. They come back, maybe. I don't know. But it'll be interesting because it does seem like Omos, he's big, he's charismatic, he talks trash. Maybe he doesn't need a mouthpiece. Maybe he could just walk around just destroying everybody. I don't know. But we'll see. It did show that he did, he's good at talking trash. And I did see him on Up Up Down Down, and he was talking trash against Kofi Kingston. So he does have personality. So we'll see what happens with that. What else was there? I'm trying to think if there was anybody else. Before I get to the bloodline stuff. Oh, Judgment Day and um, the OC. So the match was also good. It was a 6-man tag. There was nobody to combat against Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley takes out AJ Styles. He's about to do a phenomenal forearm. She picks him up, slams him, and then coup de grace from Finn Balor to get the win on AJ Styles. Judgment Day still wins. Another match that I predicted, Judgment Day, I did expect them to win because I didn't think they would have anybody. They'd probably wait until tonight, which is on Monday, for them to do that. I did plan Braun Strowman to win. Uh, I planned Lashley to win, so I had 3 right. I did think that Damage Control was going to lose. I didn't expect them to lose, so I had that one wrong. And this other match I did plan for them to win was the Usos versus the Brawling Brutes. So pretty much with the Usos, the whole bloodline thing. Uh, so for Roman, it's not really that deep. It's Jake or Logan Paul comes out and this whole thing about what if I get one lucky punch on Roman Reigns? I had a lead pipe in my hand or a lead thing in my hand. I took Floyd Mayweather to the limit, all the good stuff. He's like, hey, look, yeah, he's the tribal chief. Yeah, we acknowledge you, but all it takes is one lucky punch. Roman Reigns is like, you trying to give me a guy against who's been here for 2 matches? I've been champion for over 2 years, and this is what you give me? There's no way. And the whole story was they dismissing, is Roman dismissing Logan Paul about not being a real threat. And everybody is trying to tell Roman, is like, look, Roman, we know you nice and everything, but it does take just one punch. Look at Jey Uso. Look what happened to me. I've kind of brought him. This is the Miz talking. They brought him in. Even Paul Heyman was like, look, Tribal Chief. And all it takes is one. That's pretty much how that story was going. With the Usos, with the Braun Bruce, they're in the whole thing. It's like Jay versus Sami, Usos versus Braun Bruce, Usos versus the New Day. There's a whole lot of things that's going on. Jay versus Roman Reigns. I don't give a damn what the Tribal Chief has to say. I was like, oh, he didn't say it. He didn't mean it. So pretty much, the Brawling Brutes have this thing with the Usos because the bloodline minus Roman uh, took out Sheamus. It was Solo Sikoa versus Sheamus. Sheamus lost to Solo, and then the whole bloodline took out Sheamus, took out his arm, took him out. Uh, Sheamus got married, so everybody's aware. But they took him out for storyline reason, and so the Braun Bruce trying to get the revenge on the Usos. I think they beat Solo and Sammy. I feel like they beat somebody. They beat Sammy and somebody. I think it was Sammy and Solo that cost them the match because uh, uh, Jay got involved or didn't get involved or something happened. There's a whole thing about Jay Uso not being Usey, which is hilarious to me. Which broke everybody. It was like, oh, is that what it is? Because Roman came out and that's when they came out. Everybody was arguing. The Usos was arguing with each other. Sammy was arguing with Jay, and then Roman comes out, and then Roman was like, you know what? I don't even care no more. I want you to air your grievances out. So Sammy pretty much tells Jay was like, look, we used to be cool. Now all of a sudden I'm hanging out with your family, and all of a sudden you don't even like me no more. and Jay is pretty much was like, look, I don't care. Like, you're not family, you're not blood. I take care of my family. I'm my family's keeper. I'm blood. I go down. I'm down with them. And then Sammy was like, it's like, well, the tribal chief said we gotta wait. And then Jay was like, I don't give a damn what the tribal chief have to say. And then Roman was looking down the whole time. He was like, and then he kind of turns to Jay. Jay kind of like tosses his mic on the floor. He was like, hey, I don't know who said that. That was crazy. Whoever said that is crazy. So after that, Sammy tries to protect Jay. He's like, hey, well, he didn't mean it. He's not being himself. Everything's going. He's like, he's just not being a little Usey. And then Jay and Roman both looked at him, and they started laughing. He was like, Usey. It was like, and then Roman's like, oh, is that what it is? It's, Jay, you're not feeling Usey? And then Jay is just laughing. Solo's laughing. Paul Heyman's cracking up. And then Sam was like, yeah, he's just not feeling Uzi. He was like, well, since you're not, he was like, I'll let you slide since you're not feeling a little Uzi. He's like, well, this is what's going to happen. He's like, no, come back, get it together. So this is what's going to happen. It is like, well, you better find your Uzi or else I'm going to do something that you're not going to like. He's like, I'm going to take the honorary off of Sammy and I'm going to make him a full-time bloodline member. And then he's so excited. He was like, you know what? I'm going to do one better. He's like, I'm going to take his name and I'm going to change it to Sammy Uso. I thought he was going to say Sammy Usey. That would have been, yeah, if he would have said Sammy Usey, I would have lost it. But he said Sammy Uso and he went crazy. Jay was mad. Jimmy was cracking up in the back. It was a whole thing. It was great. So that's how all that started. And then the Usos is also close to the reign of the New Day. New Day is like, no, 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 no. This is our legacy. You're not coming close to our legacy. We won our titles. We are the greatest tag team of all time. There's no way you are going to rip us of our legacy. Um, so that's how that's going. So next week is going to be the Usos versus the New Day for the tag team titles, and if the Usos beat the New Day, obviously they will. That Saturday they will officially surpass the New Day. Well, that Sunday they will, but they'll be tied on that Saturday, and then on Saturday they'll officially pass the New Day. Interesting, something that happened was that. On Crown Jewel, who I expected the Usos to win, because obviously, and I also obviously expected Roman to win. Um, they did a thing where um, I guess Jay got injured on a house show or whatever, and they were saying that they don't know if Jay's going to be able to to wrestle. They don't know what's going to happen. So will they? So will that factor into in the New Day dropping getting the titles for them? And securing their legacy as the greatest greatest, or is Sammy going to replace Jey Uso and help them uh, maintain being in tag team champions, or is he going to help them lose the tag team championship? Oh, he's probably going to help them to keep it and keep it alive. And New Day, they were going to be like, the New Day was like, whoa, this is crazy. How is this even allowed? And the Blood was like, look, you guys have been living off the Freebird rule, so why can't we do this? So this is going to be a whole thing. It's going to be interesting to see what they do on Friday. But the Usos, of course, win in a fantastic match. Uh, Logan Paul also lost in a fantastic match against Roman, who I also thought was going to win. Um, and then the final thing was Bianca Belair versus uh, Bailey for the Raw Women's Championship in the last woman standing match, which was also a fantastic match. Probably my favorite match of the whole night. They did a whole bunch of cool new spots that you don't really see a lot of. They did a golf cart spot where Bailey drove the go kart, tried to run her over, but she was going a little slow. Bianca came in, she took her out, she threw her on top of it, and then she like speeded down the ramp. I thought that she was gonna like push the brakes and she was gonna like fall off. It was probably a little too dangerous, so they didn't want to do that. They did a spot where Bianca put uh, no, Bailey put Bianca in like a big chest and she tried to like close it, but she popped up at the last moment. There was a thing where Bianca got caught where Bailey tried to feign an injury. She was there. She tried to fake an injury, and then she attacked her. That was good stuff. I guess Bianca tried to like toss Bailey on top of like the golf cart on the table, but it kind of didn't break. So she had to like improvise and like powerbomb her on it, which sucked. Bailey did a Bailey to belly on the ramp, which also sounded like it sucked. And in the end, they did a spot where Bailey was about to do a roast plant on Bianca. She reversed that. She hit it like a KOD, and then she like pancaked her on the ladder, and she kind of stuck her on in between the bottom of the ladders, and Bailey ended up unfortunately losing. I did think that Bailey was going to win, but I also thought that they were going to keep the titles, the tag team titles. So they kind of didn't do that to keep kayfabe, to keep it alive. That Damage Control is kind of somewhat a little bit in control, and I do 100% think that Bailey is going to win the Raw World Championship. I think they're going to do a winner take all. I don't know if it will be uh at Survivor Series. They might can do a 3-on-3 Survivor Series thing where they just do it and they do a winner take all, and they might use Judgment Day for for the um for the Raw one. But I think they would do one women's one and one men's one. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. But the New Day, or not the New Day, the Bloodline, the Damage Control stuff, and the Judgment Day OC stuff is probably the three biggest things that they got going on right now in WWE. So it'll be interesting to see what they do there. Logan Paul is great. He's really good at what he does. Didn't expect him to win at all, obviously, but he took Roman to his limit, I guess. Um, and they had Jake Paul out there. They had the impulsive friends out there. The Usos came out. It was a whole thing, but in the end, Roman wins. Logan did do his cool frog splash thing on Roman. He did the slow motion. He had the selfie. He did that frog splash, which did picture perfect. He did a buckshot lariat. That was good stuff. So Raw or Crown Jewel was good. Raw, SmackDown's all good. Uh, Now they're going into Survivor Series, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do at Survivor Series. Survivor Series is going to be 5-on-5 for War Games, so it'll be interesting, like I said before, to see what they're going to do. This video is a little long. I had a lot to talk about, but we're gonna go back to watching Raw later. I gotta work, so after work, I'll probably watch it. Hopefully, I probably I normally sometimes like to look at spoilers, but I probably will try to avoid the spoilers this time around and take notes, and we'll see what happens. If it's good stuff, I'll talk about it. If it's not good, I'll probably omit it from my life. Like the Baron Corbin, it's horrible. But that was pretty much it. Oh, and the Viking Raiders are also coming back, so I think that's the thing, that they're coming back with Sarah Logan. So that'll be interesting to see what that happens in the tag team division. Who I still think that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is going to take the titles off themselves. But that's what that was this week in wrestling. Well, this month in wrestling. What did you guys think? How did you like Crown Jewel? Did you like it? Did you not like it? How do you like in Raw and SmackDown? Are you liking it? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.